Hello and welcome back to Talon 101. This time, let's talk about throws. That's right. Nice looking animations, most especially on like throw break. But yeah, these are very important to the Taekwondo practitioner because he has a homing command throw, roll and choke, which puts him, I guess, ahead of the pack in terms of a really good throw game. So first change that they made to throws is that generic throws, 1+3 and 2+4, are homing. So everyone in the cast has this, but very few characters in the cast have a homing command throw. So again, I'm just gonna turn on throw text so that, we don't have to watch the animation every single time. So that's 2+4, right? That's a homing command throw. So just in case you don't know where your opponent is stepping, and let's say you did it off a situation like a heat dash. You did it off, let's say, +5, and you wanted to keep them in check. That's a good idea for most characters. But if you're Hwoarang, it gets better because you can just do roll and choke, 2+4 back. So that's the one advantage of having a homing command throw. The other is Hwoarang has a throw that he can do in all stances. So in left foot forward, you can do F2+3. This is human cannonball, where you swap sides immediately on tech. You can do F2+3 in right foot forward. Yes. You can do F2+3 in left flamingo stance. Yes. And you can also do F2+3 in right flamingo stance. Now, the trade-off is, since Hwoarang can now do it in all 4 of his stances, it no longer floor breaks. This throw used to floor break back in Tekken 7, but now it won't. So its main usage is to really throw an opponent off, or if they use a power crush in any of the stances, and to swap sides, because this is the one throw on tech that will swap sides immediately regardless. Like, you will sometimes swap with 2+4, but it's not guaranteed that you'll swap. There's a chance that you'll swap. 1+3 will never swap. Well, I guess it does swap you, but like, if you want a command throw, right, wherein you may get damage or not, you can do it off F2+3 instead of 1+3. Now, Hwoarang also has a really fast command throw. So yes, throws in general come out at 12 frames. As you can see, the frame data right there at the lower left corner. That's 12 to 14 frames, including if I do it off, let's say, command throw like roll and choke, or if I do F2+3, comes out 12 solid. But it does have one that comes out at 11. So this is doormat. This is QCB3. They did fix this in like the last patch, wherein in regards to like, for as long as you do the QCB input, you will not get back 3. So you did see me get a couple of errors with while standing 3. But you shouldn't be getting the back 3 error anymore. So for as long as there's a down back recognized in the game, you shouldn't end up with back 3 as a error at all. While standing 3 should be your error at best. But yes, doormat is an 11th frame throw, and it does the most damage for Hwoarang. This is why I don't use this throw. But yes, if you get it, that's 45 damage. And it comes out at 11 frames. Remember, it comes out at 11 frames. So if you do it off a jab into QCB3, that's a 10 frame throw. On block, of course. On hit, it's going to be like way faster. And as you can see, on hit, you do swap sides. So if you don't want to swap sides, I guess don't use this throw. But most of his damaging throws, for the most part, do swap sides. The same thing with jackknife. Yeah, with 45 damage, swap sides. They did reduce the damage on roll and choke though. So that's 40 damage, swap sides. So you're gonna have to get used to it with Hwoarang. So like your throw games, you're gonna be swapping sides for the most part. But he also does have another throw. This used to be down back 1+3. It's now up forward 1+2. So this is like his hip throw, where he throws the opponent on the floor. And supposedly he gives really good Oki. But later you'll see that the Oki is alright at best. So this is a 1+2 break. QCB3 is a 1 break. 2+4 back is a 2 break. Up forward, yeah. So again, that's a full command grill. Like, why does the Taekwondo practitioner have a full throw game? No idea. But it's a good bonus for Hwoarang. Even in RFF, this will become 1+2. So yeah, your generic throws no longer exist. The homing generic throws no longer exist in RFF. Instead, you get a different animation, which is jackknife, which you saw earlier. That does a ton of damage. And you can also do these throws in Backturn. So like, if let's say you get a setup of, let's say, running 4, right? And you wanted to do a command throw, because you can do the generic throws, right? You can do the generic throws off Backturn. But that's not much of a mix-up, like make your opponent guess, right? So you can do 2+4 back, and you'll get roll and choke, as evidenced by that throw tech. Or you can do 1+3 forward, and that's going to be jackknife. Those are the only command throws as far as I know that you can do. And the last throw that you do have is a hit throw, and that's up back 3, which they did slightly buff in version 1.7, 1.6. Definitely one of those two versions where if you're slightly off axis, just slightly, it will still activate. So like there, right? That's a little bit too off axis. So let's go slight, very, very slight. So like 1 SSR, maybe, something like that. And then up back 3, it will still activate. So that's great. So that you can always just get an up back 3. And usually you're using this up back 3 after balcony breaks. So let's go over to a stage with a balcony. So like Rebel Hanger. So it's a staple that you've seen in Tekken 7 every single time. Balcony break, wall blasts, most especially if you're swapping sides. So do something really, really simple. Like let's say RFS 4 to break the balcony. Let's say you did a full combo. You're gonna swap sides. Now yes, you don't get anything guaranteed here, but you could always just F3+4 into a slight dash and then RFFD of 3. And well, your opponent's going nowhere, right? Typically going nowhere. The only place where you usually get the guaranteed follow-up is on a wall blast that swaps sides. So that's gonna be stuff like Ortiz Farm, the last floor, Arena Underground. It's not gonna be this Rebel Hanger because this wall blast pushes the opponent in front of your face. So that's gonna be a full combo. But yeah, that's like Hwoarang's throw game. And like you can throw this around like anywhere. So like if you're pressuring, you can check them. If you're pressuring again, you can check them. And it's just like an option you can use for as long as frames exist. And since like you can also do throws from like, let's say, crouching. So if you duck something, you can like just mash, throw immediately. And it's very, very effective against power crushes. So Hwoarang's backlash will definitely be on the receiving end of this. And it's a strong punish you can use. So like if you're against Victor, you're against Asuka, high power crushes, and you know a sequence where the opponent is gonna do like a high power crush and you're ducking, it's like, okay, if you're not ready to like launch punish that high, you can always just get the grab instead. It's not a bad idea to do. So now I'm just gonna show one Oki option per throw. And I'm just gonna link the Okizeme, the Talon Okizeme sheet, which has all the sample options, 3 sample options per throw, and mini combos and whatnot. So feel free to check that out in the future. So we're gonna turn off throw escape here, and I'm just gonna leave it up to the generic options, stand up and tech roll left or tech roll right. I'm just gonna leave it to that. So if you do 1+3, in general, typically your Oki is to do forward 3 into LFS options. Let me do that again. Yeah, something like that. That looks way faster. That's better. And your opponent, for the most part, isn't really interrupting that. They have to block it. 2+4, back 3. We risk the back 3. If you do up forward 1+2, you sidestep left into SS4. Why? I believe this is because of the wake up kicks. So if you do up forward 1+2, there you go, you avoid it. Human Cannonball, F2+3. Just F3+4 into Black Kite. I know, crazy, right? Now your opponent, I guess, can 100% avoid this if like they wake up with a backdash. So if you F3+4 into Human Cannonball, Black Kite, it will whiff. So just add another forward right after F2+3, and then RFF DSC. Of course, this will take some practice, but once you get it down, you'll have that kind of situation, and it's great. Now, if you do QCB3, your answer mainly is to sidestep to either side and then FF3. Same sauce with like up forward 1+2 that you're basically trying to avoid wake up kicks and then FF3 for the most part. Now, if you do get, let's say, jackknife, 1+3 or 2+4 and RFF, there's nothing. There is no Oki here. The most you can do is like movement. So if you get it, you can either cancel in Flamingo a couple of times, or you can just like wave dash or forward dash in RFF. Keep the threat of RFF DF3 looming over their heads. The same thing if you get the left side throw, the other side. There you go. Nothing. This is just movement. Again, so like you could stand switch into RFF and then do the exact same thing you were already doing with jackknife. But if you do get this throw on the side, this is a guaranteed back 3. There's 100% nothing your opponent can do. Of course, we can't get this kind of throw often, but when you do, boy, is it great. It's the same thing with the back throw It is a 2+4 mix-up. It's the same thing, but you risk back 3. But yeah, that is Hwoarang's throw game for the most part. Very, very useful to Hwoarang as he's pressuring the opponent, or even just straight up checking the opponent right away. So it's like less strings, more checks, something like that. Yeah, that's all I have for Hwoarang's throws. So that's been the lesson for today, for this video. Yeah, I've been Frontier, and thank you for watching.